Okay, let's start with your introduction. Yeah, tell me about yourself.
Hi, I am Praful Dax and currently I am a BC final year student. I am pursuing Bachelor's of Computer Applications from Vishweshwarya Group of Institutions. Currently I am learning MERN Stack, actually specializing in MERN Stack. I have built several projects using MERN Stack, using authentication, JWT, Superbase, and I am aiming for a full stack developer where my full stack developing skills can be earned.
Okay. So you mentioned in your resume that you are a full stack developer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why full stack? Why MERN actually?
Actually, like when I started, there was a craze, and I find it more interesting, like going directly into the like direct into advanced topics. Start with little bit of steps, like growing to a higher level. That's why I started with Munstack. Now I'm learning new skills like Next.js to level up my skills.
Mention the project student management system, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you walk through me the architecture on this project that student management system?
Actually, let me talk about like how I get this project.
Okay.
So, like you must know, there is a community called Discord application.
Yes.
So I,
Yes.
I found this group of Andhra Pradesh. They are building from their final year projects, and they want someone from backends.
Okay.
So I took a chance and lead their backend team. That's
Hmm.
how I got this project.
Okay.
So we implemented role-based access for like students, HODs, admins, and they are their like attendance systems, their syllabus, their exams,
Hmm.
and all of that things.
Okay. So it was a group project, right?
Yes.
So what is actually your contribution in that project?
Yeah, I led backend. Like I developed the whole backend.
Okay. The whole backend. You mentioned that JWT you handled,
Yes,
right? And you deployed the RESTful APIs. Okay.
exactly.
So according to this, may I know what is JWT?
Well, it stands for JSON Web Token.
Hmm.
So it's a kind of encrypted token that we send from backend to frontend
Hmm.
to access the services from backend, like authentication. Like it's a key to a room, so we can access that. It is used for like whenever we want to access something from backend that is like publicly not available for everything.
Hmm.
That's where when you use this token to access those things.
Okay. Okay. Correct. So can you tell me the basic difference between authentication and authorization?
Well, authentication is just letting user access the things
Hmm.
like logging or making an account on web page. It's authentication,
Hmm.
and the authorization is like I implemented these things on this student project that
Hmm.
a specific user can only access specific things, like
Okay.
admin can only access like
Okay.
their management things
Okay.
like
You
that.
mean permission?
Yes,
Okay. Correct. That's good. Also, you deployed the RESTful APIs, right?
right.
So, what is REST?
That's
Hmm.
it's like it's the backend endpoints where we provide information to users or whatever service we are providing for.
Hmm.
It contains different kind of endpoints to receive or post data like get and post requests.
Okay. So, you mentioned that API, right?
Right.
How will you tell the API to the non-technical people?
Well, I would say like it's an generic example in hotel like we used to do. You must heard about it.
Hmm.
Like the waiter and the table between the kitchen. That
Okay.
waiter is the API that takes the food from the kitchen and receive get to the customers.
Okay. Okay. Right. That's good. You mentioned the student management system. Again, there is next project that event management side.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Yes. It was my own project. I built
Okay.
it's my own.
Okay. So it is your individual contribution, right?
Right.
Full stack event management platform, CRUD functionality, right? So how you implement that CRUD functionality in that?
Like Whenever a user signed in, he can create an event, he can publish, he can update the event details, he also can delete the event,
Hmm.
and like those all things that basically CRUD that means create, read, update, and delete. That was the whole amount.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned that many projects you completed. So in this all project journey, you must get some bugs, right?
Right, yeah, exactly, a lot.
A lot. Then how did you identify it and how did you fix it?
Like, let me example with the student academic management.
Hmm.
When I started there, I found their code base all messed up, like kind of messed up. I
Hmm.
wouldn't say that it is totally messed up.
Hmm.
So there was kind of bugs. They were using mock data, and I got really almost got headache about that code base,
Okay.
and I really gave effort like 2 or 3 days, like every 1 hour each day,
Hmm.
and find bugs and fixing them. That was my.
Okay. Uh, so can you explain me the React component lifecycle?
Well, it's React have states, right?
Hmm.
So those states like use state, we use variables. Whenever a variable change, a life cycle happens, like updating the DOM manipulation, the virtual DOM that React have. That
Okay.
is comes under the life cycle. Like it's we can say like CRUD, that whenever user perform an action, then a life cycle happen for the React virtual DOM updates, and then again that's happens all the time.
Okay. So you mentioned use effect, right?
Yes.
When to use this use effect?
Well, like uh, we can use it in a lot of things. Like whenever a user logged into his dashboard, so we can run with a empty dependent dependency array. So it runs only once when the component mounts. So we can fetch like essential dashboard information. So use effect have three kinds of, where we can use without any
Hmm.
dependency array,
Hmm.
that almost run every time. And there is one we can use dependency array like variables when we want to use, when we want to run that use effect whenever those variable change. And one without those variable empty dependency that only run one time.
Okay. Okay. So in front end journey, there is a very big problem, right? That is UI responsiveness.
Yes.
So how will you handle it and how will you make your UI responsive?
Well, nowadays we use Tailwind Bootstrap
Hmm.
for the UI. That is like most modern and most sleek websites
Hmm.
use Tailwinds. So we used like if we are not using Tailwind, plus Tailwind have like predefined classes for the responsiveness.
Hmm.
We can use that as well. We can use media query in CSS
Okay.
for different size of devices.
So what did you use in your project?
The event management site I used Bootstrap
Hmm.
because I didn't learn Tailwind that time.
Okay.
And in this SAMS one, I bit contributed to front end. So they were using Tailwind, I contributed to that too.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So how will you call the backend APIs and handle the failures of that APIs?
Okay, so from front end we use like Axios, that
I see.
Axios. So it sends an HTTP request to backend. Also, we can use that fetch keyword that we use. Like it's a method to call backend, and it insert data. And we usually like wrap our code in try and catch block, that catch is the error if an exception or that, and that we can handle as later.
Hmm. Okay. So let's come to some JavaScript. So can you tell me event loop versus blocking operation?
Well, event loop is like it's an kind of asynchronous programming.
Hmm.
Well, JavaScript runs on single threaded, like it runs us each line of code one by one.
Hmm.
So sometimes they're like code like we use set timeout.
Hmm.
So it blocks the code, the next line's code until that executes. That's where we use event loop, and we also use like async and await for overcome that thing.
Okay. So you use MongoDB in your project, right?
Right.
So why you use MongoDB, not SQL?
Well, like I said, I want to grow step by step. I I lean toward MERN Stack. I
Hmm.
learned MongoDB first. That's why I
Hmm.
use MongoDB that. But later
Okay.
on, I find that NoSQL database is also necessary.
Hmm.
So I jumped into Postgre and I still land in Postgre.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me the ACID property?
Which property?
ACID property.
Acid.
Yeah.
Well, it is for the efficiency of database, like
Hmm. Correct.
optimization and a lot of those things. I can't recall the full form of it right now,
Hmm.
but I can remember this. It is for efficiency, effective queries,
Hmm.
and like optimizing our MongoDB queries projects. That's all
Okay.
I can remember right now.
Okay. No problem. Uh, can you explain me the indexes?
Well, indexes we use like it's all. I don't know why this is all revolving around efficiency. Index is also used in efficiency for faster performance fetching data from the database. If we don't use indexes,
Hmm.
uh, MongoDB generally search from entire collection. But we when use indexes, we directly capture those fields that we want to access.
Okay. So you deployed your event management project, right?
Right.
So how did you deploy it actually? Can you explain me the flow?
Like I was a I was getting the monolithic repository,
Hmm.
backend and front end in the same repository. So I used render, yeah, render for the backend
Okay.
and Vercel for the front end. Render because render is the top. I googled and what are the top
Okay. Okay.
hosting sites,
Yeah.
free sites. So I find render, and it was quite simple for deployment. We just use the path of repository and build
Hmm.
commands and run commands.
Okay. Okay. Correct. So do you know Git?
Yeah, I know that.
Why developer use Git and why it is famous in the industry?
Well, it is a version control system.
Hmm.
It keeps tracks of our code base, like whatever we committing,
Okay.
whatever we changing in files,
Hmm.
and if we ever lost our data, like I forgot my commit that which branch I committed that,
Hmm.
we can use Git. There are several commands for Git. We can check which what we committed on which branch. That like it's simply a record. We use record it for the record purpose, what we are changing in our code base,
Hmm.
and it's for like reliability of our code base. If we something lost, we can find through the Git.
Okay. Okay. I'm giving you one scenario of Git. Okay. Just tell me the answer.
Okay.
So suppose I change one file currently. Currently I'm in one branch. I change one file. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want to switch to new branch,
Okay.
but I don't want to lose my changes
Hmm.
of the current file. What will
Okay.
you do?
Well, I just committed this current change.
Okay.
It won't directly push to GitHub or any other development thing.
Hmm.
It will just commit it in locally. So now
Okay.
we can change that branch, and we can use ref log. There's a command like, if I remember right, we can find that commit, and we can also apply it to the current branch or any other branch that commit.
Okay. Okay. Correct. Any other solution you know?
Uh, Not that I remember of.
Okay. Okay. No problem. We can stash it actually. Stash means
Yeah, yeah,
temporarily
yeah.
we can save it to
Okay.
another. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So what dev tools you use daily?
Dev tools I use VS Code,
Hmm.
Postman, and sometimes a quite little few bit Thunderbolt. It seems like as Postman,
Hmm.
GitHub. These are the tools.
Okay. Uh, So can you tell me what is the status code meaning 501?
501, I think it means service unavailable, if I remember it right.
Okay. 404 you must know.
Huh?
404 you must know.
404. Is it, did you say 404?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the common code. Well, it's easy to learn. 404 not found.
Okay. And 401?
401, still I can't remember it. Actually, I don't usually remember
Okay.
them. All I
No problem.
Google them.
Yeah. Okay, okay, no problem. So 500 series means it's a server side
Server
problem.
side,
Okay.
like
And
error
40,
something.
40 series means it's a
It's
client side problem. Okay.
okay.
Uh,
And if I remember, 300 is the redirect or something like
yes.
that.
Yeah. So okay, can you share your screen? You mentioned that C++ DSA. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we will walk through some basic problems.
Okay.
So please share your screen. I'll give you a scenario.
Which code editor should I use?
Anything is fine. VS Code or online compiler you can use.
Yeah,
Anything.
yeah, I would use online compiler. That would be right. Let me just open that online compiler. C++.
Mhm.
Uh, my screen.
So why did you?
Is it visible?
Mhm. So why did you mention DSA in CPP, not in JavaScript?
Well, as based of my curriculum,
Mhm.
from the like first semester we are learning C, and then in third semester we learn more of C++.
Mhm.
That's why I used from the third semester I started problem solving in C++.
Okay.
That's why I have record of C++.
Okay. Okay. So consider one array. You can comment down. Okay.
Okay, an array.
Array of 1 2 3 2 4 3.
Uh, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, and
2 4 3.
2, 4, 3. Okay.
Okay. You have to find out the duplicate elements and return it. Actually, you can print it.
Okay. Huh?
You can
Print
print
it
it
away.
directly. Yeah.
So we can use STL library, right? Vector and all like that.
SQL.
STL,
Okay. Okay.
vector and
No, actually, if you do it by directly without using the STL, then it will be better.
well, I use vector was because on lead code it's simply STL library. So I have
Okay.
like I have
Okay. Go ahead.
okay. So we have to find the duplicates, right?
Yes.
There are multiple approaches. Like what should I start with?
Whatever comes to your mind, you just go with it.
We can use sort like now. So should I print the duplicate element or the non-duplicate elements?
Duplicate element.
Okay. Let me think if I'm not studying anything. Let me try to run it. Okay. Vector is talking about vector. Okay, it's using the answer. Okay, what would be the library for this sorting? Maybe I can like directly SQL. Let me try that. No. Oh, side effects of using a git code. Now I can't even know where this sort function is.
That's why.
So let me just walk through it.
Okay.
We are now using the very brute force thing, like we are sorting the array first.
Hmm.
Then we are
Let's suppose
comparing
you
each
sorted. Just comment it the sorted array. Let's go by line by line. Okay. Let's
this
suppose
by this.
you sorted the array
Okay.
at line 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just comment down the sorted array. Now there.
One, two, two, three. Okay. There. Okay. I now I got one more mistake. I should not use this break statement here.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have this sorted array.
Hmm.
So we'll start with this element
Hmm.
and we just compare it with the previous element. It should not be equal to this.
Okay.
If it is equal, then we just print it like duplicate found and
Okay.
that element. And then for each element, when we come here, then we just found like we found duplicate. Here we will compare these two elements. When we come here, we will compare these two elements.
Hmm.
And when we come here, we will compare these two elements. Now these all are finished. We have printed successfully printed the all elements that are duplicate. And if we go to another approach like using another data structure, we can go for the map.
Map.
Like we
Okay.
can just uh, iterate to the array, store all count of all members into the map,
Hmm.
and find that with the one more than one count of elements, and we can print those.
Okay. Uh, so can you explain me the structure of hash map?
Hash map, it's like it stores value in key pair value.
Hmm.
Key value pair
Okay.
elements. Like first element is the key that could be the any type of data like float and any other data types is there, and same persists for the no. But the second element is like count of that element. We can count that element by its frequency. When we initialize a hash map, all elements will be set at the count zero, and we can change them later.
Okay. Okay. So can I save a duplicate keys in hash map?
No, we can't simply don't we can't use that.
Okay, we can't. And we can have
Yes.
duplicate
Uh,
duplicate
what did
values.
this? Yes, like we can increase the count of that element.
No, no. I'm asking the general question. In hash map, can
Hmm.
we have duplicate keys or can we have duplicate values?
We can have duplicate values like if we are using instead of count we are using like vector or something. We can store the duplicate value in that, but we cannot have the duplicate keys.
Okay. And can we have a null key?
No, we can use the null key. We don't have the null key.
Actually, we can use one null key in HashMap. Okay.
Hmm, okay.
So you mentioned using namespace standard here, right? So what is namespace
Yes.
standard here?
Well, if in C++, like in these new compilers,
Hmm?
we have to like mention std, like standard, that stands for a standard,
Hmm?
like standard input output or standard vector. So if we use this line, like namespace, we are using simply we are using space for that standard. We are we are not using the actual std keyword in our programming. We just using the space instead of that. That's why we use this line.
Okay. Okay, so can you tell me the difference between array and linked list?
Like array, it has, it could be the limited, like limited elements.
Hmm?
They all are stored in the contiguous memory, like one by side.
Hmm.
But in linked list, there are pointers that stores the reference to the next value, the next node of the linked list. That is not available in the array because we have the indexes here. In linked list, we don't have indexes.
Hmm.
We have the pointers.
Pointers. Okay. Okay. So is there any data structure to store unique values? Suppose I want to store the unique values. What should I
Mhm.
use?
There is set. We have unordered and ordered set. We can use totally unique values in it.
Okay. So do you know the internal implementation of set? How it
Uh,
store the unique values and where it store actually?
okay, that's new. Uh, Maybe I don't know that now, but I will exactly for sure. I'm gonna read about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for pointing that
No
out.
worries. So let me tell you in one line.
Okay,
We just mentioned the keys of hashmap, right?
right.
Keys are unique. So
Mm-hmm.
set internally use hashmap keys to store its values. In that way,
Okay,
it store the unique values in the key key of the hashmap. Okay.
okay,
So let's jump back to backend again. Uh,
okay. Should I stop my screen or
um,
what?
yeah, yeah, we can stop.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me the difference between synchronous and asynchronous in Node.js.
Uh, okay, it's well, it we like it's the event logging thing.
Hmm?
For each line, JavaScript is does that whenever a long process that taking is too much time, like fetching data
Hmm?
from backend or something like, the next lines won't be executed until that execution is completed. So that's why we use asynchronous programming. The
Okay.
one I just told you about, it is synchronous programming,
Hmm?
where it will block the next executions until this one is completed. So that's why I use asynchronous programming, where
Hmm?
we use async and await keywords. Async is simply like it's just make the whole statement into sync, that it will allow to JavaScript to execute other executions until this is happening under backend.
Okay. So what is Express.js?
Well, Express.js is web framework for using like server side things like middlewares and fetching data and all of that things.
Okay. So what there is one concept called middleware in that.
Right.
So what is actually?
Middle is like we should take example of REST APIs. Like
Hmm?
we have an endpoint like slash get users, and there is a dedicated function for getting that users. But we use a middleware, as its name suggests.
Okay.
In it goes right in the middle of those things. It will be executed first rather than that dedicated function.
Hmm?
Like we can perform action like authorization or something like that until if we that for that successfully executes, then we can go to that another function. Otherwise, it will be get written from right there.
Okay, okay. Do you can you explain me the course?
Course, okay. So it is used for like cross browser compatibility. Like when our backend and frontend are hosted on other different domains, totally different domains. So where that's where we use HTTPS won't allow us to directly communicate between two different domains.
Okay.
That's why we use Course. It's kind of middleware that allows us to cross like fetching data across the different origins. We use an allowed origin, something like array. We can list all our like different domains that we can allow access to this backend.
Okay, okay. So, what is session and cookies?
Session and cookies,
Hmm.
okay. So cookies are simply are not directly accessible by JavaScript. Like we at front end we cannot access directly from that cookies. That's why we call them more secure from like pirating or hacking things.
Hmm.
It is directly setting from the backend, like the JWT token. Like usually we store that in local storage, but that is kind of vulnerable. Hackers can get that and use that. But from backend we can store that directly into cookies,
Hmm.
that it won't be able to get by any JavaScript or something like that. And sessions are like sessions is like how do I tell it? It's a limited kind of time or period. Like user is logged in, and if its session ends, he won't be able to access it anymore until he log in again.
Okay, okay, correct. So, you are a web developer, right? So
Right.
there must be your website SEO friendly.
Yes.
Yeah. So how will you optimize it for the SEO?
We use like inline tags like HTML tags and meta tags
Hmm.
for the description, the keywords that our website will react to, and we use like Google search engine to access the analytics of our current website.
Hmm.
We can go to the indexes like what people are searching for, where our website is currently ranking, and we can like perform multiple checks. Is like there are tools for SEO checking like keywords, HTML correct tags like H1 paragraph tags, and our website should have an a limited or more than like lots of data that user can really meaningful to user. That's where SEO persists.
Okay. Okay. So do you know binary search?
Yes, I know binary search.
Okay. So can you explain me in short?
Binary search is simply like let's given like we have a container of files. We have a lot of files in it. We just simply go right in the middle, and first we fetch in to the left side, and then again we go in right in the middle. So it will like uh, dividing the whole things into half and half and half until we get to the one specific thing. That's how we search things. Like if I want to search a specific file in a container, so I would go right in the middle. I will check, is it that file we are searching? Then I go on the other left side and the other right side like
Okay. Correct. So yeah, I'm done with my questions actually.
that. Okay.
Some HR question I would like to ask you.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose you stuck on one problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a 2 days. You are stuck on the problem.
Okay.
What will you do? You will still wait, or you will ask some help for others? What will you do in that case?
Well, if I'm working in like a team,
Hmm.
while that's my preference that I ask my teammates for some help. And if I'm alone, then would I would try all my efforts to find that bug. Or I can use tools, different tools like nowadays we can use AI and that all tools that will like easier work.
Okay. Okay, suppose you develop one feature,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in web, you have to give demo to the client. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and just before the demo, your deployment fails.
Okay.
In that situation, what will you do?
Well, that's a very intense situation. So, like, I have to show the client, so we can pre test those things, deployment and all things, so it won't crash in the right in front of client. And we can also, like, if it's a website, we can take wireframes, so we can, if something will happen, that we can show client that wireframes, ready wireframes or screenshots of websites, how it will look,
Okay,
like that.
okay. In that way, you will handle the client's need.
Right.
Okay, yeah, Praful, I'm done with my questions. It has
Okay.
been nice to take your mock interview.
Thank you.
And if if I prefer, I must select you. You are very proficient in the theory part as well as practical.
My pleasure.
Actually, you answered all of the questions. While it may be front end, it may be back end,
Okay.
maybe database, and also DSA, CPP, whatever you mentioned in the resume, you answered all it. Okay, so be confident like that, and yeah, then all good. If you have any questions, then you can ask me.